What's up, everyone? Today I'm going to be talking about uneven lifting. And if you've ever hit the switch and it seems like, oh, the front is lifting just a little bit this way or a little bit that way and it just doesn't lift evenly, I'm going to go over several different options as to how to narrow down what's actually going on. So the first thing that you need to do is grab you a tape measure. You're going to want to take your tape measure and you are going to want to measure to ensure that your car is actually sitting level. So you want to make sure that the car is all the way down and sitting level, and then you're going to start to measure. So you're going to want to start by picking a place that is a center point on each side. I like to use the center point of my knockoff. So I'll use the edge and run it all the way down to the floor, and then I measure up to the fender. Okay, you're going to want to do that on both sides to ensure that the car does in fact sit at rest level. So once you've done that all the way around, then you can start to narrow down where the problem is coming from. Now that we've got all of our measurements all the way around, if you notice that there is a difference between, let's just say, 1/8 of an inch or higher on each side, 1/8 of an inch is not enough to really cause any unlevel lifting. It's not quite enough. But something over that 1/4 of an inch, that's enough to cause a little bit of an uneven lift. So the first thing you're going to want to do is check and see if your springs are turned in a different direction than the other side. So whichever side is off, whichever side is higher than the other is the side that you're going to mess with. So one side, the side that's lower is the side you're going to leave alone. So you're going to jump on the spring and turn it just a little bit. Try turning it just a little bit and make sure that it, does match the other side, and then lower it again and find out if the measurements match up. If they do, great. You move on to the next thing. If they don't, you're going to start to measure your trailing arms, and you're going to measure trailing arms from bolt to bolt on each one. You don't really want to measure the gap that's in between your adjustables. So for example, the gap may be the same on both sides, but that doesn't necessarily mean that the distance from one end of the trailing arm to the other end of the trailing arm is the same distance. Unfortunately, sometimes they are made even slightly off. So you need to measure from center of the bolt to center of the bolt. So you'll want to lift up the car. You're going to want to get up underneath there and measure bolt to bolt. And I'll show you here in just a second. All right, so hopefully you can